In the city of Persia, there ruled a king who had everything: palaces, treasures, armies, and wisdom. But he had no son, no heir to his throne. One day, a traveling sorcerer came to his court, bearing a gift, a wooden horse, beautifully carved and inlaid with gems. This horse, the sorcerer said, will take its rider anywhere in the world. But beware, for it is enchanted. Only the worthy may ride it. The king was delighted. He placed the horse in his palace, not knowing what adventures it would bring. The king's nephew, a young prince with adventurous spirit, could not resist the horse. One night, he climbed onto its back and touched a hidden peg. Instantly, the horse rose into the air. It flew higher than birds, higher than clouds, until the prince could see the entire world below. Cities looked like anthills. Mountains looked like pebbles. It was the most wonderful experience of his life. But when he wanted to return home, he could not find the peg again. He was trapped in the sky, carried by the enchanted horse to unknown lands. The enchanted horse carried the prince to the faraway land of China, and landed him directly in the garden of the emperor's palace. There he saw her, the most beautiful girl in all the world. She was the emperor's daughter, a princess with eyes like black pearls and a smile that could melt hearts. She saw the strange young man on the magical horse, and instead of screaming for guards, she laughed with delight. "Are you a prince from the stars?" she asked. And the prince, who had been terrified, found himself smiling back. The emperor was not amused. "You have entered my palace without permission," he thundered. "You will be executed at dawn." But the princess threw herself at her father's feet. "Father," she pleaded, "let me marry this prince. He rides a magical horse. He must be a man of destiny." The emperor was cunning. "Very well," he said. "I set you 3 tasks. If your prince completes them, you may marry. If he fails, you both die." The princess agreed, though her heart trembled with fear. First task, the emperor pointed to a mound of rice. "This mound contains a single grain that is different from the rest," he said. "Find it before sunset, or die." The prince searched desperately, but there were millions of grains. Then he noticed something, a tiny ant carrying a special grain, walking away from the mound. He followed the ant, saw where it hid its prize, and found the different grain. The emperor was surprised, but the challenges were not over. The second task, the prince was led to a pitch-black chamber. Inside, the emperor said, are 4 deadly serpents. Find the one with a jewel on its head, or be devoured. The prince entered the darkness, his heart pounding. He could hear the serpents hissing, could feel their breath on his skin. Then he saw it, a tiny glow, a jeweled head, gleaming in the dark. He grabbed the serpent before it could strike, and emerged victorious again. The final task was not a challenge of strength or wit, but of heart. "Tell me," the emperor demanded, "the name of my daughter's favorite flower, her favorite song, and her favorite dream." The prince turned to the princess, and she told him, "Because love, as the wise know, means knowing another completely." The prince answered correctly, and the emperor had no choice but to agree to the marriage. But there was still one problem: the enchanted horse. Prince found the hidden peg again. How he had learned, he could not say, but love teaches many things. He and the princess climbed onto the enchanted horse and flew through the clouds, back to Persia. The king, who had grieved his lost nephew, wept with joy at his return. And when he saw the beautiful Chinese princess, he smiled. "You have brought me more than a nephew," he said. "You have brought me a new daughter." And there was much celebration. The wedding lasted 40 days and 40 nights. Merchants came from distant lands with gifts. The emperor himself sent an entourage from China, bearing silks and spices and wishes for happiness. And the enchanted horse? It stood in the palace courtyard, a reminder of the adventure that had brought 2 young hearts together. The prince and princess lived in happiness for 100 years, and when their children asked how they met, they always said the same thing: love finds a way, even on a magical horse.